I'm in here for editoririshboxing.com. Tiernan, I'm good. Listen, you have a massive fight, Ben Crocker, for the IBF European Super Lightweight title on a stack card, with Keil Malloy as well on the card. The GBM duo, as I like to call it. But first off, how are you, Tiernan?
Yeah, doing good, doing good. Moved into fight week there on Friday, and yeah, it's my birthday today, so I'll probably have a little celebration after I get that red and gold belt around my waist.
Speaking of like a birthday for a boxer is kind of a bit different to everyone. Like normally everyone's scanning cake and all that, but like what's a boxer's birthday like? First off, like what are you doing today?
Oh well, look, I don't know. I got up and went to mass this morning.
Okay.
Uh, I got up and went to mass this morning. I went for a coffee and a little walk, and nah, that's just about it. I'll probably go out for a little run later on and chill and relax. But yeah, nothing too interesting. Just a relaxing day.
Speak to me. How's camp going? This is a huge fight now. Your first step up to a title fight in your career. Obviously the last time out, yeah, a win, a good win as well. So you're looking to register another big performance come fight week this week.
Absolutely big performance. I would like to add myself into the mix. Between the super lightweights in the UK and Ireland. The super lightweights that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
You've got Pierce Leary, you got Sean McComb. You know, you got Catterall, Smith, Azim. So I want to add myself in that mix of super lightweights
Hmm.
rather than just maybe a prospect coming through. I want to be the contender.
Hmm.
So I think this fight next on Friday will put me in that kind of position and allow me to get some of them bigger fights and a little bit more hype now and be mentioned in those types of names.
Do you feel like you are being mentioned in those types of categories, even when people look at your performances and look at your highly amateur decade career?
I don't think they do. Unfortunately, I think I had a lot of hype around me whenever I turned pro, but it's kind of died down a little bit more. But ever since I've started up with GBM now, I think that hype's kind of got a little bit more interesting. So I think a lot of people are taking note of me, but they just see me as that prospect. But I ain't the prospect. I'm a 28-year-old, 22-year-old, 28-year-old fighter who's been pro now 4 or 5 years.
Hmm.
So I'm no longer that person. And I think this fight now, as I said, it's always been this is the plan is to move up and get these types of fights. So I think this will put me in those types of realms. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and showing what I can do in those types of fights.
Speaking on that 4 or 5 year career, was it always a plan to move slowly and steady to it?
Nah, not absolutely not. I think as a fighter, you need backing,
Yeah.
and it's very hard if you do not have backing. Um, I went throughout my entire career boxing Poland, Spain, Belgium, trying to get fights here and there. Um,
You went around Europe. You toured Europe for the first part of your career, like.
exactly. Me and the Rourke's team that I was
Yeah.
with previously when I moved to Brighton. Um, me, Ryan O'Rourke, Tony Brown, Victor Abbey,
Jonah.
and John Cooney. God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And you know, moving around Europe, getting the experience in, having great fun, almost like we were back in the amateur days, just
Yeah.
going out the week before, doing a bit of training, and then
Bit of food
and
eating, bit of training, bit of chilling.
absolutely, and those memories are I hold close to my heart.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I'm in the UK now. My last few fights have been here in the UK, and this is where my base is. And I think once I grab the attention of the UK fans, which I have done in my last few performances, and that's not even me at my 100% best at where I wanted to be because we chase perfection in every fight. this performance to be as perfect as it should be, that I have it in my mind.
What have you done in training camp to try and make this, as you said, this performance as punch perfect basically as possible? And because I know every boxer, well, like I feel every boxer be like, it looked like a great performance, but then, like, they're rating it's like, 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I could have done this, this, and this. But what for you, Tiernan, have you done in camp to make this the 10 out of 10 performance that you want?
I've never actually had this length of a camp, and this structure of a camp. Especially, we had to have it right going into, we're moving up into the 10 rounds, to 12 rounds. I've conducted myself as a professional, but it's always been like a 6 to 8 week camp where you're just cruising along, you're getting the sparring in, you're kind of just chilling, making weight. You don't have to come in a championship weight and stuff like that. So I think this time, when we talk about being a professional, I think this has been very professional. My strength and conditioning has been on point. My sparring has been on point. I've done over maybe 100 rounds in the 10 weeks camp that I've done. Um, I've ran over 200 kilometers of doing long runs. I remember finding out, it was the day after I found out that John had passed away, and I went out for a run one evening, and I just had a 30 kilometer run. I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and that allowed me to kind of clear my head for that day. So that's really been my push for this camp is, you know, 30 kilometers, half marathons, 15 kilometers, getting the miles in the legs, getting the rounds in the gym, and yeah, everything's been fantastic. My output has been phenomenal. I'm like a racehorse going into this fight.
Might as well put you to the Grand National.
Exactly. I mean, put the money on me.
When you ran those 30 kilometers, I guess with no headphones, because you just kept going and going and going. What was going through your head, if you mind me asking, when you just kept going and going and going?
um, we could go into it, but I think it's just the sport of boxing. I mean, pushing through, getting it done. Why are we doing this sport?
Mm.
And at the end of the day, we're doing it because we absolutely love it. Um, these things happen, but obviously, um, as we push through, you know, I always look at it like this: is I've been given this talent and the talent to entertain, so I'm not going to disgrace that. I'm going to
Mm.
go out, be in the best shape possible, and put in the best performance as I can possible. There's been times where I've came in fights previously, where I haven't been in the best of shape, haven't made weight right, but I've put it all right this time.
Mm.
I've got a nutritionist on board. He's covered everything. Liam Williams, shout out. But I've put everything right this time, and I knew it had to be. I knew it had to be right because if it didn't, if all them 1% didn't add up over the camp that I'd done, I'm going to be sitting 20% out, and that 20% left could have won me that title.
Mm.
So I've been every 1% or every 10% that I was able to put in, I put that in, and I think that will stand to me on the night.
Do you go back and watch your previous fights, Tiernan, to bank data that you look back at a certain move, maybe you choose like, I could implement in that camp. Like, would you look back on previous performances to build basically on the previous stuff that you've done to try and build better to bring that back into your basically your current arsenal?
Not really. I let my coaches do that. I'm not really a analytical person when it comes to fights. Um, you know, even spars. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm going back and looking over my spar." I don't like that because it's not. I'm in there. I know what it is. So what I do even after a spar is I just take 5 minutes after the spar, take 10 minutes, and I write down 10 points of what I've done in there. Sit down, relax, kind of look over the rounds from one to five, 5 to 10, whatever, and write down some points, and then go through them, and then I have that for the next time that I go back and spawn.
Mm.
But even fights. I don't really look back at them. Um, I might watch them back maybe once, but that's it. I never really go through it. But I leave that to my coaches. They'll tell me something that I might have done. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go through it, see how I can do this better. And I think that's the best way because sometimes you can get caught up in your own head rather than the outside perception. And yeah, and that's why I leave it up to my coaches to do that.
You and Ben Crocker, you're currently 10-0. He's currently 14-0. Do you see any holes, gaps, or anything that you can expose on fight week during when this fight happens?
Absolutely, I do, but I'm not going to say it. A little bit earlier, uh, but um, I absolutely do. But I'm not really even looking at him. At the moment, I'm looking at myself, and I know for a fact if I perform 100%, if I let my hands go, put in these shots, and perform to the best of my ability, nobody can beat me.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to be 110%. So yeah, obviously I see gaps. I wouldn't have took the fight if he was a perfect fighter, if he was some kind of killer. But um yeah, that's I'm just gonna work on myself and go in there at 110%.
You're speaking about shows back here in the beautiful country of Ireland. There's a big show on June 21st, and hopefully a win comes true on Friday night. Could we see Tiernan Bradley maybe close up a gap on June 21st and see you in the Tree Arena walking out to 10,000 plus people?
Who knows? Who knows? As again, don't like overlooking, my next fight.
Mm.
My next fight, but all my attention is on that. But who knows? I just want to be in the mix this year. I want to have titles. I want to have that belt around my waist. Um, get people to notice me because as new people come in, sometimes the notice goes to the wayside. Um, but yeah, once I get that belt around my waist, I think everybody will take notice and go right. We've got another champion coming up through in Ireland and the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows?
Mm.
Who knows?
Just one more question on the Irish team. Did you get any excitement at all when GBM put that teaser out that it could be the famous Pearse Stadium on the Troom Road in Galway? Yeah, obviously, Kilmalloy, probably homecoming. We don't know, but is he teasing something? I don't know what he's saying, but he's trying to tease something.
Yeah, I mean the teasing's there. You know what I mean. I think Kieran has been pretty straightforward. He has wanted a show in Galway, since he signed with GBM, and I think they've been very, very interested in doing that. Um, so who knows? I mean, we're moving into these summer months, and I don't think we could ever have a winter show again in
No,
Ireland.
no, that's not going to
Um,
happen anymore. No,
I
no.
think I think the last time I was at a winter show that was outside was a Car Frampton fighting Keiko Martinez and
Yeah,
Titanic, the Titanic Museum outside, and it was Baltic.
yeah,
It truly was, but right on the docks.
yeah,
But I think a summer show in Galway, I think that would be fantastic. It'd be fantastic for Kieran.
yeah.
You know, the last time he more or less sold it out himself, in the Leisureland. Um, I think I got on the show maybe 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks before,
Mm.
and
Stoppage
yeah,
as well.
the boys were
Yeah.
stoppage win, but the boys were like, yeah, I can't give you any tickets. Maybe give you 10 tickets for your family. Kieran sold the entire thing out, and I was like, oh my. Um, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I think, yeah, definitely. I think they're looking something bigger. So Pierce Stadium would be fantastic. Be fantastic for Kieran, fantastic for Galway, fantastic for Irish boxing, and good to see GBM moving into the Irish scene.
I say it's nice to see your younger brother Callum back on it as well. He's back in active, so both the Bradley brothers are back in active, causing havoc in the Irish boxing scene.
Exactly. I mean, you know, funny thing is, like everybody's saying, like everybody said to me previously, "Oh, when's Callum come back? When's Callum come back?" Callum never left. He never
Yeah,
left
he's
the
just been
gym.
training away in the
He was
background.
training consistently training, consistently doing his strength and conditioning, consistently training like a professional boxer. Even though he was not fighting as a professional boxer, he was training like a professional boxer and he was living the life. So I think that will stand him now, and you know, he's got a great team behind him with Project Boxing and David McGinley, and Pro Box. So I think Callum can really push on and surprise a few people in that super bantamweight division. The last time he was out, he was fantastic. He was getting the nerves, but he had no nerves before his fight. You know, if you'd even speak to Dave Walsh turned and says it was 10 out of 10 performance, never got hit, just went in there, done his job, and got out of there. So I think he'd be looking move up into the 6 rounds, 8 rounds pretty quickly, fit as a fiddle, sparring away, and really looking forward to seeing his progression now over the next year because yeah, he's gonna explode onto the scene.
One final question. Friday night, your call, Bethnal Green, IBF European Super Lightweight title. You against Ben Crocker. Three singular words that we can expect from Tiernan Bradley.
Tiernan Bradley knockout.
That's probably the most fluid single three words I've ever had. But listen, I will take it. Tiernan, thank you so much for coming on to the chat. Hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great birthday. Enjoy your coffee, chill, walk, whatever you do in the next few hours.
Thank you very much,
David,
Matt.
the 21st birthday.
Yeah,
And
21st.
listen, Tiernan, I'll see you in a bit. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Matt.